This $3 Japanese coating stops all mold growth permanently. Cleaning companies want this erased from the internet. And the reason you have never heard of it has nothing to do with whether it works. It works perfectly. Every test, every study, every building manager who has used it confirms the same result. If you have ever found mold in your bathroom, you know what happens next. You go to the store, you buy a $12 bottle of bleach spray, you scrub the grout for 45 minutes, your lungs burn, your fingers ache, and for about 3 weeks, the bathroom looks clean. Then the mold comes back. Exact same spots, exact same black streaks creeping across the caulk, climbing the corners of the ceiling, spreading behind the shower head where you cannot even reach without a ladder. So you spray again, you scrub again. 3 weeks later, it is back again. This cycle does not end. It is designed not to end. You can call a professional mold remediation company. The average cost in the United States is $2,300 for a bad case, a basement, an attic, an entire bathroom wall. You are looking at $6,000 to $15,000. And even after you pay that, the mold remediation company will tell you the same thing. We remove the mold, but unless you control the moisture, it will come back. Translation: we took your money. We will be back to take it again. The global mold remediation industry generates over $1.2 billion in annual revenue. And it is growing every single year. Not because mold is getting worse, because nothing the industry sells you actually stops mold from growing. It just removes what is already there, temporarily, on a schedule. That is not a cleaning service. That is a subscription to a problem they have no interest in solving. But in Japan, they solved this problem decades ago, and they solved it for $3. This is a silver ion anti-mold fogger. In Japan, it is called Bukabi Kunenzai. You can find it at every drugstore, every supermarket, every 100-yen shop in the country. Brands like Lion Look Plus, Earth Raku Happy, and Uyeki have been manufacturing these products since the 1990s. A single unit costs between $2 and $4 depending on the brand. And a single application protects an entire bathroom against mold growth for up to 2 months. Here's how it works. Inside the small container is a tablet containing silver zeolite, which is a crystalline mineral compound infused with silver ions. When you add water to the container and place it on your bathroom floor, it generates a dense antimicrobial fog that rises from floor to ceiling. The fog reaches every surface in the room: the ceiling, the walls, behind the ventilation fan, into the grout lines, around the drain, into the silicone caulk around the tub. Every crack and crevice that mold spores hide in. The silver ions in that fog do not sit on the surface like a chemical coating that washes away with the next shower. They bond to the surfaces at a microscopic level. And once they are there, they attack mold at the cellular level through 3 simultaneous mechanisms. First, silver ions penetrate the cell walls of mold spores and disrupt their ability to reproduce. They block the enzymes that mold needs to replicate. Second, silver ions interfere with the metabolism of fungal cells, essentially choking off their ability to process nutrients and grow. Third, silver ions generate reactive oxygen species that destroy the internal structures of mold cells from the inside out. This is not marketing language. This is peer-reviewed science. A study published in Applied and Environmental Microbiology confirmed that silver zeolite compounds demonstrate bactericidal and fungicidal activity through direct contact with microbial cells, transfer of silver ions into those cells, and the generation of reactive oxygen species. The antimicrobial properties of silver have been documented for over 2,000 years. The Romans stored water in silver vessels to prevent contamination. Japanese researchers adapted this ancient chemistry into modern zeolite carriers specifically designed for sustained, controlled release of silver ions across surfaces. But here is what most people do not realize. The zeolite carrier is what makes this technology so effective. Zeolite is a nanoporous mineral, a crystalline cage of aluminum, silicon, and oxygen. It holds silver ions inside its structure and releases them slowly, on demand, only when microbial activity is detected nearby. The silver does not dump out all at once and wash away. It sits inside the zeolite framework, dormant, until a mold spore or bacterium lands on the surface. Then the ions activate, neutralize the threat, and go dormant again. This controlled release mechanism is why silver zeolite coatings maintain antimicrobial protection for months, not hours. Now, let me show you exactly how this works in practice. You start by cleaning your bathroom normally. Remove any visible mold. The fogger is not a mold remover, it is a mold preventer. It creates a protective antimicrobial barrier that stops new mold from ever taking hold. You fill the container with water up to the marked line. You place it on the floor in the center of your bathroom. Within seconds, a thick silver ion fog begins to rise. You step out, close the door, and leave it sealed for 90 minutes. That is it. That is the entire process. 90 minutes, no scrubbing, no chemicals on your hands, no burning lungs from bleach fumes. When you open the door after 90 minutes, you ventilate the room for 15 minutes by turning on the fan or opening a window. There is no residue to wipe, no surfaces to rinse. The silver ions have already bonded to every surface in the room. And from that moment forward, any mold spore that lands on those surfaces is neutralized on contact. Now watch closely, because this is the part they do not want you to see. The branded mold prevention sprays you buy at hardware stores in the United States and Europe's contain the same active ingredient, silver ions. Pull up the safety data sheet on any of them. Silver compound is right there in the chemical composition section. They take the same antimicrobial technology that Japan packages for $3, dilute it into a trigger spray bottle, and sell it back to you for $15 to $25. And instead of covering your entire bathroom in 90 seconds, you're standing there spraying surface by surface for 30 minutes, missing every crack and crevice above your head that you cannot see or reach. The fogger format is what makes the Japanese version superior. A spray can only coat what you point it at. A fog coats everything, every surface, every angle, every hidden corner behind the toilet, above the light fixture, inside the ventilation duct. Mold does not grow where you can see it. It grows where you cannot. The fog finds those places. A spray bottle never will. And that is not even the best part. If you use this fogger once every 2 months, which is what the Japanese manufacturers recommend, the antimicrobial protection compounds on itself. Each application adds another layer of silver ion protection to every surface. After 3 or 4 consecutive applications, the silver ion concentration on your bathroom surfaces reaches a level where mold growth becomes essentially impossible under normal household conditions. Japanese homeowners who follow this protocol report going years without seeing a single spot of mold in their bathrooms. Years. But here is what contractors charge $500 for. A homeowner in Tokyo using this product 6 times a year spends approximately $18 total on mold prevention annually. $18 for an entire year of complete mold protection. The average American homeowner spends between $50 and $200 per year on mold removal sprays, bleach products, and cleaning supplies specifically for mold. And their mold keeps coming back every 3 to 4 weeks, because every product sold in Western markets is designed to remove mold after it appears. Not a single mainstream product sold at any major hardware store in the United States is designed to prevent mold from appearing in the first place. Think about that. The entire mold cleaning product aisle at your local store is built around the assumption that you will have mold, that you will need to remove it, and that you will be back in 3 weeks to buy more product to remove it again. And here's the part that shocked me. Japan experiences some of the most extreme humidity conditions on Earth. During the rainy season from June to July, indoor humidity regularly exceeds 80%. Japanese homes are built with materials that absorb moisture. Tatami mats, wooden frames, paper screens. These are the perfect conditions for catastrophic mold growth. And yet, Japanese homes consistently maintain lower mold incidence than Western homes built with supposedly superior modern materials in far less humid climates. The reason is not better construction. The reason is better prevention. $3, 90 minutes, once every 2 months. That is the entire Japanese mold prevention protocol. And it works better than anything sold in the Western world at any price point. So why do cleaning companies not recommend this? Because a bathroom that never develops mold is a bathroom that never needs remediation. A homeowner who spends $3 every 2 months on prevention will never spend $2,300 on a professional mold removal service. And a cleaning company that sells you a monthly deep clean package loses a customer permanently the first time you fog your bathroom with silver ions. I reached out to 3 cleaning companies and asked them about silver ion anti-mold foggers. 2 had never heard of the product. The third told me they do not recommend do-it-yourself. Mold prevention products. Translation: they do not recommend products that eliminate the problem they charge you to manage. In Japan, mold prevention is considered basic home maintenance. It is as routine as vacuuming. Every drugstore in the country has an entire aisle dedicated to anti-mold foggers, anti-mold sprays, and dehumidification products. Japanese homeowners use them proactively before mold appears because preventing a problem is always cheaper than reacting to one. The Japanese approach to mold is the exact opposite of the Western approach. In Japan, you prevent. In the West, you react. And the difference in cost between those 2 approaches is measured in thousands of dollars. But here is what the mold remediation industry does not want you to connect. Silver ion antimicrobial technology is not experimental. It is not new. It is not unproven. It is used in hospitals worldwide to prevent bacterial contamination on medical devices. It is used in water purification systems. It is used in food packaging to prevent spoilage. It is used in heating and cooling ductwork in buildings like Denver International Airport and data centers operated by some of the largest technology companies in the world to prevent mold and bacterial growth for years, even decades, after a single application. The science is settled. Silver ions prevent microbial growth. They prevent it safely, effectively, and for extended periods on treated surfaces. Silver has been proven effective against over 650 strains of bacteria, yeast, fungi, and mold. And because silver is inorganic, microbes cannot develop resistance to it the way they develop resistance to chemical antimicrobials. It does not wear out. It does not stop working. The microbes cannot adapt to it. This is the technology sitting in a $3 fogger at every Japanese drugstore. The same fundamental science that protects hospital patients from deadly infections is available to you for less than the price of a cup of coffee. And the mold remediation industry, which generates over $1 billion in annual revenue, has never once suggested you try it. And here's one more thing that will change how you think about mold forever: the bathroom ceiling. That is where mold starts in almost every home, not the shower walls, not the floor, the ceiling. Hot steam rises from every shower you take and condenses on the coldest surface in the room, which is always the ceiling. That moisture sits there, invisible, feeding mold spores that you cannot see because you never look directly at your bathroom ceiling. By the time the mold is visible, it has already spread across most of the ceiling surface and begun dropping spores down onto every other surface in the room. Every mold spray on the market requires you to stand on something and spray directly upward at a ceiling while bleach drips down onto your face. The Japanese fogger fills the room from the bottom up, coating the ceiling first because that is where the fog naturally rises and concentrates. It protects the one surface that matters most, the one you never think about, automatically, without you lifting a finger above your shoulders. $3, 90 minutes. Complete mold protection for every surface in your bathroom, including the one that matters most and that every other product on the market makes nearly impossible to treat. So there you have it. $3 and 90 minutes is all it takes to stop mold growth permanently. Cleaning companies do not want you knowing this because mold prevention eliminates the problem they charge $2,000 to temporarily fix. What Japanese home product do you want me to test next? Drop it in the comments. And if this saved you money, hit subscribe.